What is this doing here?
For the aesthetics, bro.
It's for the grade A raw. Put it back into focus, which is right here.
We can't leave it there the whole episode, though. You're just
Grade
going to hold
A
it?
raw. Natural dairy products. Since 1927, actually.
It's pure Jersey milk.
Nice. What number?
What?
Jersey, you get it. Yeah, it's called New Jersey, by the way.
It's
Buster.
25.
What's 25? Oh,
It's the
Jersey
number. Yeah.
Oh, shoot, dude. It's the big 2-5 up it. No, I'm kidding. What's going on, dude?
It actually is because the expiration date's February 25th.
Oh, shoot.
That was a wild guess. I didn't even see that.
What's today? The 24th?
16? No.
No, I'm kidding. No, today's the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday, February 15th.
Welcome back to the unscripted 2 a.m. podcast.
Mm-hmm. Everything raw, just like our milk. You know how it be.
We have no idea what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. So we call our conversations grade A conversations, huh? Because they're raw. Because they're so raw. Oh, man. Yeah, we're back to these jokes, huh?
What's on your mind?
Well, we just exceeded and finally passed through Valentine's Day, as we know.
Yeah.
And what a disaster that was, you know?
Was it really?
Wow. No, it wasn't. It was great.
No, it was actually really good.
It was nice, right?
Yeah.
What did you have? You had honeycomb, I assume? Raw milk.
Honeycomb, turkey soup
Some meat.
with copious amounts of spices.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it was definitely a good day. Better than the days that all the lonely people have.
Yeah, no. Dude, it's not lonely, bro, because at the very least you have yourself. That's right. That's right.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. Bro, people say that. It's just like, no, bro, like no one actually cares. Valentine's Day is about sharing it with someone. And it's like, dude, you are someone. You know, you can treat yourself.
Yeah, but people don't think from that perspective.
Bro, like, what have you learned about other people? They let you down for the most part.
You literally just mentioned it last episode. You were like, yeah, I was talking to some dude who I know who said, like, I've been alone since I came out of the womb.
Yeah. So, like, you know, it's kind of like the story of, like, where does it hurt? Well, it all started when I was born, you know?
So he obviously doesn't
Like,
have himself.
no. Yeah, like, I think it's just self-victimizing. It's just fun.
Self-victimizing. Go deeper. What do
Right?
you mean?
Self-victimizing is fun. So let's just say the most common scenario you hear of is someone got broken up with,
Mhm.
right? It hurt. And let's not deny that. Now, with that hurt and being in that dark spot that you're in, it's really hard to climb out of it because you got to admit it feels kind of good to be the victim. It feels good to just be like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I'm kind of the center of attention in my life right now,
Mhm.
right? Where in most cases, like if you want to live life correctly, you should paint your story and you should be your hero of your own story to achieve things and whatever. But no, bro, you can't.
Because there's no responsibility with that.
Yeah, you're never going to climb out of that hole that Bruce Wayne was in Batman Begins, you know? He's
Mhm.
trying to climb out of it with a broken arm and like a twisted ankle and
Yeah.
broken back.
I mean, once you get to that point, then nobody gives a shit what you actually do
Mhm.
because they know what to expect from you,
Yeah.
which is barely anything. It's like subpar destructive standards.
Pretty much. I mean, and the thing is, there's no one there to pull you out of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by you start realizing that, you know, people don't care. People have their own shit to worry about,
Yeah.
you know? So if they lend you a hand, take it the first time. If they lend it to you twice, they're being fair. If they lend it to you 3 times, they're a good person. Just
Mhm.
take it, right? Yeah, we're scared to take things from people when it's, at the end of the day, it's just a lending hand. And when you're self-victimizing strongly, it just turns into chaos.
Yeah, I think the 3 nastiest things are becoming a victim, living with guilt,
Mhm.
and living with shame. Although I do think like guilt has it has some value in a certain context, but
Yeah.
if you're a dude or just honestly, if you're a man or a woman to live life as a victim
Mm-hmm.
and to feel guilty and shameful about everything that you fucking do, that's hell. It's a miserable situation.
Yeah, it's something you do upon yourself for no
Yeah.
reason. Absolutely. But guilt, I like that you said that, because guilt it's a heavy feeling. And a lot of us don't know how to move with it, right? So, like one of the most common things I can think of is hiding something from your parents as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
you know, rather than a kid. But I remember, like, if you did something wrong, you would absolutely want to try to hide it as much as possible,
Yeah.
right? And as you hide it, that feeling that you're getting of like you're overwhelmed by certain things, or like if you hear your name at home, like you're immediately triggered, like they know, you know, that feeling is not fun. And it taught me to just come out straight. Like, even if I've had done something crazy, I'll just be like, listen, like I'll talk to my parents, and I'd rather them know than not.
Yeah.
Right. It just kind of builds trust. Even if I got beat, even if something else happened, even if I got grounded, it doesn't matter. I'll still say it, because at the end of the day, it'll just be like, wow, like he is who he is, and whatever. Right.
It's just crazy to me that some people never break out of that. Like, imagine living your entire life through
In
that
secret.
lens.
Yeah.
Because you never moved past that from your
Yeah.
childhood.
Giving people what they want to
Yeah.
hear. Right?
I mean, I see it in small instances. Like, if I remember when we went to, what was that restaurant? Lucille's Barbecue?
Yes. Yeah.
When we went there and I ordered a salad.
That was funny.
The salad actually, like, they gave me like 2 heads of fucking lettuce. Like, they didn't actually chop
It's
it
a
up.
loaf of lettuce.
Literally. So I look at the plate. I'm like, what the hell is this? Anyways,
Yeah.
waiter goes back, comes back, and I'm like, excuse me, do you mind if you can chop this up or something along those lines? And they agreed. They obliged, because that's their job. But some people are afraid to do that because they feel like,
Oh, I'm disturbing something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm causing like a break in the matrix or something. I don't know.
It's so wild to me.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a salad. I don't know why it didn't come chopped in that scenario. It's kind of stupid, but
Yeah, I mean, but my broader point is that it's a character flaw if you're unable to request something that simple.
yeah, just as simple as that.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then God knows what else you can't do. You can't rely on a person like that for sure.
You mentioned this word earlier, standards.
Yes.
What do you like? What's your overall view of standards? It's standards across the board in all areas of life,
Standards?
just
I
as a human
mean,
being.
I honestly do not think it has anything to do with poor or rich. It has nothing to do with like amount of wealth. I think that yes, you know, the wealthier you are, the higher standards you're gonna have naturally, right? But I don't believe that standards should be looked at as just a wealth statement. It should be more like if someone works on their hygiene a lot, right? And their hygiene status bar is going up. I just look at it as that. Like, they're all like,
Status bar.
yeah, just status bars. Like,
Yeah.
what areas have you worked on? You know what I mean? So fashion, hygiene. So that includes facial care, hair care, whatever. Ethics, vocabulary, language, everything, right? So like everything's a loading bar, and it's just kind of like once you exceed a certain point, I feel like that's when standards start to take a place. It's when you've dipped into everything.
It's like a video game.
It's like a video game, yeah. It's kind of how I view it. More than like, all right, this guy's a millionaire. He probably has like, you know, $7,000 pants. No, like look at Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is a great example.
It's probably the worst dressed actor I've ever seen.
Yeah, like you don't have to have great standards. I think standards are just built. You know, and you have to just. It comes out of love too, like the wanting to do it. Just I don't know, different people, different mentality, different situations.
Standards. I don't know. It's a very interesting subject.
It's weird. It's like, it's almost like, you know, in some instances, people can be like, why am I put on a pedestal? Because of my standards. That makes no sense.
Well, I get it that everybody
that
has
high? I
to.
don't-
Yeah, everybody has to play their place in the world.
But again, what are high standards?
What is that subjective or objective? I think it's objective.
I think it's both.
It is both for sure, but I think
But,
it does edge
yeah.
more towards the objective side. Because, for example, if you see a man walking down
Yes.
down the street, okay,
Yeah.
he's well dressed,
Mm-hmm.
tailor fitted suit or tailor fitted clothing in general. He's got a nice fade, haircut's on point, shoes are perfect,
Magnifique.
magnifique. What else?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to assume that you're going to find that attractive. That's what I mean by objective.
Yeah.
99% of people are going to find that attractive.
Yeah. Which is why I like the word clean. Right.
Clean.
Yo, that's clean. Why?
Clean
Because
cut.
it literally is clean. Like, it's just straight out of the box, straight out of, you know, the laundry, whatever it is. Just looks clean, you know. Sometimes you can do that with colors. You could do that with material, fit, whatever, you name it. But clean now has become a standard,
Yeah.
right? But then there's also higher standards. So you're like, now you're dipping into stuff that's just
So like
a
above
stylistic decision.
clean, would you consider sophisticated another level? Is that higher than clean?
Depends, man. Like, I've seen sophisticated, but they had really wrinkly shoes.
Yeah,
You
like
know.
a rugged sophisticated.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's just pick your style. It's a stylistic decision at that point, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think it ties into beauty as well. Because beauty in the context of like sexuality, nature, all of that's definitely
image,
objective.
everything?
That's
Yeah.
definitely objective.
Yeah.
But then there's a little bit of subjective in there. Like some guys prefer blonde women, other guys prefer brunettes.
That's true.
It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah. And you can't really see it as a whole for everyone, you know, like, oh, you know, blondes are the hottest or whatever. No, everyone's going to say something different.
Yeah.
And we've all been in that situation where we've asked like a group of friends, you know what I mean?
What question?
Like they'll pull up a celebrity and they'll be like, yo, is she bomb? And then it'll be like half say hell yeah and half say, nah, dude, you're tripping.
Okay, what's an example though?
What's an example? I don't know.
Celebrity. Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Yes. Okay, that's a good one. I would say yes.
In my book, attractive, yes.
Yes. I've heard the argument twice, all right, before.
Against it.
Like literally half the people at the hangout would just be like, hell no. Not even close to like in my book. But see how like to me it's like, what? Aren't we all men? That doesn't make any sense. But no,
Aren't we
it's
all
just
men?
it's just preference.
Yeah. No, I think yeah. At the end of the day, it just comes down to preference.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I feel like that whole I've been thinking about this guilt thing now.
How
But-
so?
Like I honestly feel like it's just you're always better off being honest.
Yeah.
You know? But I can see it from the other side, right? Like what if my parents were not as forgiving or they were more strict when it came to this crap? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of it as someone from some other situation, you know?
Mhm.
How would they have handled it and why they must have kept it a secret? It's probably because of how the parents would have handled it as well. But guilt, dude, that's not something we should walk around
What is the
feeling.
definition of guilt? I need to search this up.
Um,
What do you think it's defined as?
defined as the feeling you have caused solely by yourself, something. It just has to do. You're responsible for it, but
The fact of being responsible for the commission of an offense,
Mhm.
moral culpability, responsibility for a mistake or error.
there you go.
That's why I'm saying, like, in a certain context, guilt is healthy.
Mhm.
Because if you do something really shitty, you're supposed to feel guilty. And if you don't, then you're probably a sociopath.
Yeah. We see that with murderers, you know.
Yeah, but a lot of people take it way too far to the point where it's like, feel guilty about what kind of coffee I get. I feel guilty about changing my order from a restaurant, stuff like that.
Yeah. And then we have the whole shady industry of lawyers as well. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Get you off the case, boy.
If I'm a vegan, I feel guilty about eating meat.
Yeah, that's true. So that's like a morality standpoint, I think, for
Yeah,
if you're vegan, right?
for sure.
Most of it, I would have to say, comes from morality, if anything.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a humanistic behavior that we need to acknowledge and just be more in tune with. But yeah, definitely harm and tell the truth. You know, if people can't take the truth, it's on them.
Okay, here's a question for you. What's
yeah.
a situation where it's better to give a white lie than to tell the truth?
Surprise party.
Surprise party, yeah.
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 I mean, I've been through that a million times. You know, I'm not a liar, but like sometimes it calls, you know.
What about a more serious situation?
Oh, like grandma didn't die? You know, like no, I would never. Well, honestly, it depends. I would have to like assume the hurt, you know, if I'm if I'm hurting someone.
Yeah.
It depends on what it is, honestly. You know, is it going to be traumatic? If it's going to be traumatic, no, dude, I'm not dabbling with that. I'd rather just be.
Well, they're going
be
to find
honest.
out anyways.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'll just rather be honest, right?
Yeah.
I also don't want to be that person that's just like part of this big lie with a bunch of other people, right? And then when they uncover it, they go, "Wow, you were with them too, and you knew this whole time." No.
Flat Earth theory?
Flat Earth theory. Ooh, kill him, dude. I don't know how you could be flat earther these days. This makes no sense, especially with you know, SpaceX around.
I don't know. Oh, did you? By the way, I just read this yesterday. Did you hear about Elon Musk's Neuralink and how apparently it's killed 15 of the last 23 monkeys they've done experiments on?
No way.
So they implemented the chip, the brain chip, into 23 monkeys.
Yeah.
And I think over the course of a couple of years, from like 2017 to 2020, 15 of those 23 died.
Damn.
And now, like, animal rights activists are starting to get on his ass because apparently he's been like treating them
Partially.
in a poor way. Yeah. I didn't read that much into it, but
that sounds pretty intense if you ask me.
And I sent it to Logan too. I sent the link and he was like, "Are we really fucking surprised that this new technology, like, we're not going to have any errors with this new technology?"
Of course we're going to have errors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense. And rather it be monkeys than, you know, human beings.
No, a lot of people disagree. A lot of people would rather have like.
See that? Oh my God. How? That makes no sense to me. You know, a lot of people disagree that they would rather it be humans dying. You know?
Well, not necessarily humans dying, but they have like this hierarchy in their mind about what life is more important. Like if we did it to a hamster, who cares? If we did it to a monkey, okay, a lot of people care. If we did it to a human being, a lot more people care.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's all the same life.
It is.
You end up in the soil. You end up dead.
But like when it comes to something like Neuralink, you cannot just use a hamster at that point. All right. We're at a much higher level of experimentation at this point.
Yeah, true.
You're gonna have to use the actual subject or close to it. So monkey makes sense, right?
We gotta
because
use
the
the
options here in my head are human or monkey. I don't know, man. Like one has a better brain, so
Monkey.
I'm gonna go with monkey. You know? No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna go with monkey, bro, all day.
No, I'm gonna go with human.
For a lot of people,
Yeah.
I'd rather choose monkey brain.
Yeah. But you get it. It's kind of like we don't act like humans anymore. Like it's not. We don't care about fellow humans as much as we care about other things. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Right. I've been trying to get in tune with that with myself too. Like, you know, instead of yelling at people just because I'm agitated, why don't I just be like, why don't I be the leader of the situation and just not and pretend like nothing happened? We'll leave that situation where it belongs, which is back where it was. And we're going to focus on, you know, creating new chapters throughout the day. Right. New scenes, whatever you want to call it. So if I just had a problem at the stew and I go to Starbucks to clear my mind, I don't know why, but I just did. Yeah, I'm not going to take that energy with me.
You're gonna disconnect.
Disconnect.
That's why you move to a different place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Disconnect. But it's hard to do still because it's still you. It's still you going through that situation or whatever. You're just not in that vicinity.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of successful people do. They're really good at doing this, right? You'll be like, "Oh, how you doing?" And they'll be like, "Oh, not great, but it's all good. We're here now." You know, like that. That's how it should be. It's like we're here now. So like, why worry about it? Let's just get through this. We'll get to that later.
True.
Right. Even if you have to cry about it, that's insane strength.
Yeah. Because you can acknowledge it.
Yeah.
A lot of
the fact
people
that you
won't.
just stop things, go back later.
But the point
Great
about
power.
like human interaction is interesting because you don't find that in small towns. In small towns,
No.
everybody is kind to each other,
Yeah.
saying hi to each other.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning, everything. But in large cities, it's like you've transcended the point to which a human being is just a human being. Like now you see a sea of human beings and it just becomes a statistic. It's abstract in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like even shopping. Used to be a lot different, you know? You kind of you get greeted, right? Hey, how's it going? You know, greeted with like eye contact too. I'm not talking about like, you know, the manager didn't hear you say welcome. So you just have to yell it out.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. If you ever walked into a store and someone's just like, welcome, and you're like, who the hell said that? Like, you know?
I did it this morning.
Yeah. You just have to, they just have to say it. It's like it's part of their, you know, being a worker there.
Yeah.
If the manager doesn't hear it, you're in trouble. Like that kind of stuff. Rather than you wanting to do it. Right? So nowadays, it's kind of like even when you're checking out, like, oh, how's your day so far? And you'd be like, oh, pretty good, you know, not too bad. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. It just feels so scripted. They're not even looking at you. They're just kind of like, you know, next. I'm here to clock in, clock out. And that, dude, like that has nothing to do with work. That's just, you're not even a human being at that point.
You're an automaton.
You're just forced to be here. You don't want to be here. You act like you don't care about other people. You know, you shouldn't see yourself as an employee. You should see yourself as like, yo, I'm here right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Doing this in exchange for this, which is money to work ratio. And how am I going to treat it? Like, that's never a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How am I going to treat this? Do I treat like, do you walk this path treating everyone like this? I bet you don't.
Of course they don't. It's just the context.
It's just your energy. It's just you bring in so much negativity to whatever area this is in your life. And it affects other people. It affects other people's days. It affects everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, dude, why are you pretending to walk a straight path if you're lacking in a huge area? That makes no sense.
And when on the opposite side, when you notice somebody who's genuine in that situation, it's you're very attracted to them.
Yeah. It gives you room to assume.
Yeah.
That rhymes.
Room to assume.
Room to assume. Hashtag room to assume this
I'm about to clean with my broom.
post. Yes, sir. So we could get to raw milk drinking or what? What's going on?
Sure.
Sure.
We got the raw milk.
All right,
Might as
guys.
well drink it.
We're about to start drinking this raw milk. It's going to take about 20 minutes. I'm sure you don't want to see that. So why don't you just go follow us on Instagram at the 2 a.m. podcast and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and the 2ampodcast.com. Go ahead and visit us there. You can find us at YouTube on the 2 a.m. podcast. And yeah, give us a 5-star review on Spotify.
And lastly, if you do want to watch us drink raw milk, we do have an OnlyFans at the 2 a.m. podcast.
We don't. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you next time. Stay easy. Talk to you later.
Stay breezy. Peace.
Peace.